I didn't jump, I didn't tremble, I didn't cry out. There was no time to do any such a thing. So he didn't jump, he was shocked. That's why he didn't jump, he didn't tremble, he didn't cry out. There was no time to express such kind of emotions. There was no time. Okay, the snake slithered. Do you know the meaning of slithered? Moved slowly along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm. See this picture, it is the picture of arm. Left arm above the elbow, and also it is the picture of elbow. The hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. See, this is the hood of the snake, picture of hood. That means expanded part of head of a snake. It would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. Why? Because the hood was nearly 3 or 4 inches from his face. He was shocked in position. That's why I was turned to stone. That's why he was turned to stone. There is no emotion. He didn't jump, he didn't tremble, he didn't feel fear, he didn't cry out at least. But my mind was very active. Though he was become a stone, but his mind was very active. The door opened into darkness. The room was surrounded by darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. Flesh, he is a human being, flesh. But at that time, at the dreadful or terrible situation occurred, he sat there like a stone image. See here, sat there like a stone image in the flesh. I felt then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words of "Oh God." So see, some moments ago the doctor had been feeling so proud of his looks and his profession, but now he was weak with fright and he started pray to God. Okay, there was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick leaden rod, that means a rod made of molten fire. So you see this picture, it is a molten fire rod. See how much pain he felt. It is not at all a normal pain. It was a beating like pain with the molten rod. It was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. Slowly the snake was powerfully crushing. What is that crushing? Forcibly compressed forcibly. The snake, he was crushed by the snake. Okay. Then the arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. What could I do? Slowly the arm lost his strength. At my slightest moment, the snake would strike me. Death lurked in 4 inches away. His mind was active, no? That's he. Think about if the snake would struck me, what would I do? Suppose it struck, what was the medicine I had to take? There were no medicines in the room. I was a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. Now he was scolding himself. I was a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. Some moments ago, the doctor had been feeling so proud of his looks and his profession, but now he was very weak with fright. So he was scolding himself. What he is scolding himself? I was a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly myself. At that time, a smile, it is not an attractive smile, you know children. It is a smile with a feeble smile. That means there is no brightness. That means there is no physical strength. Feeble smile, very weak smile it is. Okay. It seemed as if God appreciated that the snake turned its head. So it's one miracle is happened here. What is the miracle? The snake slowly turned its head. It looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. See, this is the turning point of the story. He looked into the mirror and saw its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. So this is the first and last snake, I think, that had ever looked into a mirror. But it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. At that time also, here some words or some lines creating some humor. What are those lines? Was it admiring its own beauty? Was it trying to make an important decision about growing a mustache or using eyeshadow and mascara or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? See the silly way of thinking of the doctor. At that situation also, even he is in the dreadful situation or a terrible situation, he is thinking like that. Was it admiring? It means here the snake. Was it admiring its own beauty? Was it trying to make an important decision about growing a mustache or using eyeshadow and mascara? See the picture of mascara here. Or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead. Vermilion spot means red sinduram. Okay, see this picture in the textbook picture also you can observe here. Then I did not know anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? I will never know. For the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. From there it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Slowly the snake slithered into his lap and also slowly moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. Like these lines are creating some humor or fun. Okay. I was no image cut in granite. Cut in granite means I am just like a statue, like a statue. The doctor was showing any emotions. He didn't jump, he didn't cry, he didn't tremble, So there is no emotions he expressed. So he stood like a statue, So, but slowly, I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Now he was a man of flesh and blood. That means when the snake is moved slowly towards the mirror, then he was free from the danger. Almost he was escaped from the dreadful situation. So he was a man of flesh and blood. That means he again suddenly a man of flesh and blood. So now he is not at all a statue like structure. He has a flesh and blood means normal man. Okay. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. Slowly he got up from the chair and ran away from that place. Phew. Each of us heaved a sigh of relief. So those who are listening this story, they just heaved a sigh of relief like that. All of us lit beads. Somebody asked, Doctor, is your wife very fat? No, doctor said. God willed otherwise. My life companion is a thin, reedy person with the gift of a sprinter. So previous passages we discussed about what are the qualities of a woman he would like to marry, fat woman he want, but in real life his wife was a sprinter. See this picture of a sprinter, a fast runner. So this line is also creating some fun. Someone else asked, Doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you? The doctor replied, I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. So he continued narrating his story. Okay, I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. Immediately, I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. Then he changed into fresh clothes also. The next morning, at about 8:30, I took my friend and once or two others to my room to move my things from there. So After the next day at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, he took his friend and went to his room. But we found we had little to carry. Some thief had removed most of my things. Okay, what happened there? Some thief entered into his room and removed all his things. The room had been cleaned out completely. There were no belongings. But not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult. He just left one thing. What is that? What was that? I asked. The doctor said, my vest. You know, the vest, the dirty one vest is there. Already we discussed in the previous passages. The dirty one vest, he left, the thief left the vest. The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness, the rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water. So here the cleanliness nature of thief, the rascal means here that the thief could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water. So he left that vest as a final insult. He said like that. Okay. Did you see the snake the next day, doctor? The doctor laughed. I have never seen it since. It was a snake which was taken with its own beauty. No, I have never seen. I have never seen it since. He said like that. So in this way he finished his narrating the story, The Snake and the Mirror. I hope all of you enjoyed listening this story. Am I right, children? Okay, next do one thing. Just learn the what message you can guess from this story, children. Yes, this story reflects on the pride, foolishness and stupidity found in human beings. This story reflects on pride, foolishness and stupidity found in human beings. As human beings, we should not try to overestimate ourselves. As human beings, we should not never try to overestimate ourselves. So don't feel proud. Rather, we should try to establish a proper balance with the reality of life. We should always live in reality. Obviously, we have capability to change our fate, but it depends on our hard work, dedication and truthfulness only. So we don't feel any proud. Okay, so this is the message conveyed from this story. Then take the home assignment, children. Already I allotted one assignment, that is read the glossary part in the textbook. You just continue that. Note down the glossary part in our notebook and also read that. And at the end of the lesson there are some questions. You should have try to finish the answering for that questions which are already in the passages. Answers are already in the passages. You can try to find out the answers for the questions at the end of the lesson. So these are all your home assignment. Okay, children, I hope you are all listen carefully, follow my works and do your works regularly. Don't neglect your studies, as well as take care about yourself. Take precautions while this pandemic period. Okay, ma, thank you. Thanks to all the officials to giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Anandal.